What is going on YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yocrates. This is your review for The Real Housewives of Potomac. Season 7, I forget what episode, but it'll be in the title. So let's jump right into this. It gave a little bit, didn't give a whole lot, but I'm gonna make it do what it do, right? Cool. So we start off with Karen, and she's at the DC Improv. This is going to be the location of her Grand Dame and Friends event situationship. We still don't know exactly what it was supposed to be, but look, we just gonna go with it, right? It's a small, intimate space, which is good, which is cool, and it's easier to control, ticket sales and whatnot, and make sure that it looks a certain way. Because again, with this being filmed, it's easier for, well, it's not easier. I mean, it's going to be filled up rather than having like a big old space like an auditorium or something, like you in somebody's school, and then you only have but like a handful of people there. So cool. We found out that Jasmine Masters is going to be the entertainment. There's going to be a panel on love. Okay. So now we get Mia, Jacques, and Gordon. So all this thing really was just a podcast aftermath. And more or less, Giselle with her messy self, being all up in, Jacques and Mia's business. And this is just one of those where you can share whatever you want to share. You owe nobody an explanation. But just know when you do throw something out there, it is human nature for people to be inquisitive. I mean, especially if there's dialogue and you're on a reality TV show as well. So you gotta be careful about what you throw out there. And the car comes up as a point of conversation, and let Jacques tell it that they gave her a nice little cushion to help assist her with the down payment on said car because she was spending a lot of money trying to get out of some type of relationship. I don't see a problem with that. I mean, look, we give friends money all the time. And look, when you of a certain bracket, for some of us, $100 might be a lot. Look, for people of a higher tax bracket, $1,000. We don't know it, but still, it's one of those where, other than being messy, I mean, why does anybody really care? But I'm just saying. Well, no, I think she said out of a bad situation, but I am assuming, using deductive reasoning, coming to the conclusion that there was a relationship. Anyway, we get Ashley, Deb, the rest, well, two other friends of Ashley, and Giselle. So I'm sorry, they talk about Ashley and her dating, whether or not if her friends are helping her. This is Giselle. Friends saying Ashley doesn't need help with that. Also talk about Michael, we don't care. So then Giselle needs the clarification on what happened at the spring fling. So Deb says that she was at the bar, saw that on camera, saw that in the flashback, right? Says Chris was leaning on the bar. Now she says that Chris kind of came in like this, insinuating that he saw her and made that gesture as a way of trying to talk to her. No, he was just leaned up against the bar. That's really all that was. And then she says that she was looking straight, but saw him at the corner of her eye, like just, like glaring at her, staring her down. Now, look, just because you got the eyes of a chameleon don't mean that this man was looking at you. And if that's the case, you should have made sure that's what it was. Could have been the drinks, could have been you just being messy, whatever. But again, she lied. And then says that Chris introduced himself to her, when in reality she commented it on her liking that shade of pink that he was wearing, his suit. And that's when he introduced himself to her, and then she says, oh, well, my husband's name is Chris. And he says, okay, well, that's like a common name. That's it. Like that's really it, right? The stupidest thing. So then she says, and then Happy Eddie came over just a smiling, and he started flirting. And I'm like, so we can't smile now? And you said, so what? Just because Jason Derulo came over that smile, like, it's just one of those ways. Like, are we, like, I know we reaching, but is your arms hurting? Like, I'm so confused. Ashley says her other friends saw this happening, so they wouldn't lie. but we never heard the other women physically say, as Deborah was telling this story, backing her up like, yeah, I saw that this is what happened. Okay. Um, and then she says to Giselle, she told Candace about this because seeing as how her and Chris are trying to have a child, she doesn't want Candace to end up like her where she's currently right now. And it's like, no, that's not it. Because she even says, the pendulum swings both ways and it doesn't feel good when it's happening to you. No, that wasn't your intent. You're trying to make a TV show, but you also doing a form of get back. My thing is just be honest. Now, that could be a reason, like deep down, like on the list, like it could be all the way at the bottom, but that wasn't the primary reason that you told her. And Deb says, she will have a conversation with Chris the next time she sees him. And she said it with a little in her voice. And Giselle's like, no, you're not. Candace is not going to let that happen. Okay, count your days, but no, it ain't happening. And Ashley wonders if she should tell Wendy about, Eddie. So then we get Wendy and Jason Derulo. So Wendy doesn't like sitting still, which is understandable. Not really much of a moment here, but you do have some people where they just can't sit still. That's just them. And then, she briefs Jason Derulo about a meeting that she had with Ashley's. And this was a flashback scene, which let you know it wasn't about none. And pretty much what Deb said. And because Wendy even asked, okay, so what was the issue? And then Ashley says, well, he was very smiley. And Jason Derulo like, I can't smile. I smile at everybody. Again, we just finding reasons. And this is getting very, like, it's already dangerous. And it's already toxic. And it's like, they're going after the men for what reason? And look, this is, okay, it's going to get to a place where they can't come back from. Like, the show has already got dark, but this is just, I don't know. Anyway, we get Mia, Giselle, and Robin. So Mia claims her son, because they asked her where she's been, and she says, well, her son was sick. He was on the court. He was in pain. Gordon was feeling away. We see a flashback. Pippen Pippen probably just didn't want to be there, but we didn't see him limping. He wasn't in pain. They didn't even address it in the scene. We know Mia is a liar. So Giselle tells Mia that Karen mentioned Mia looking up Jacques, hoo-hoo. And then, Mia's kind of thrown off by it. Then she also says, well, why didn't you tell us about Peter's girlfriend, you, and Gordon? And we also heard that from Karen. And she says, okay, well, Peter's girlfriend, was just, playing around with him. They weren't having, sex or whatever. And she knows about it because she had crashed the bachelor party. Again, don't know how much of this is true because, again, Mia lied when the truth will do, so I don't know. Mia then says Karen wouldn't like it if I told y'all why she really doesn't like Charisse because I know. Throwing, out bait to see if somebody's going to take it and really want to get the deets. So we end the episode with Karen's event. So Giselle doesn't know what the event is about, neither do we. And even after watching the show, I still don't know, but all right. Ashley brought Deb as a +1, obviously to start mess, keep this thing going. And again, let's be honest, what storyline does Ashley really have? She ain't got one. So Candace is bringing Dorothy, and again, I'm getting tired of seeing Dorothy on this damn screen. I don't know why Dorothy here. I really don't. The only thing I can think of is maybe Candace is bringing Dorothy because she's very unsure about who she may or may not be filming with. So she wants to at least try to have scenes with Dorothy because we know Dorothy is a piece of, possibly. Don't know. So Karen is concerned about her mic and if it's going to drop. And my thing is, just why haven't you done a mic check? Again, I understand not everybody knows everything about everything. But I don't know why you don't know that. Especially given the fact that seeing as how you're on a TV show, how before y'all even do these scenes, they are testing your mics and whatnot to make sure that it's recording, that it's picking up and these other things. So if you take that and just kind of expand it a little bit, but okay, all right again. But what do I know? I'm just reviewing the show. So the girls, minus Candace, Karen, and Robin, because Robin asked late. Oh, and Wendy, forgot about her. Talk about a video that Cherie shared with the group of one of Karen's breasts popping out while they were at a club and whatnot. And Karen side eyed that, and I did too, because it's just like, I mean, why would you show that? And look, I understand. Women are more, comfortable with seeing, another woman's, anatomy and whatnot. But even still, we know Karen is of, a particular age and, certain things. Not really so. Because I'm just like, why do you, okay, you have footage of it because you're recording and, everybody's having fun. But why would you share that? I'm just saying the intent. But it seems like all of that probably is going to come to head next episode. That I cannot. Actually, I want to say like the next two episodes. And I'm thinking that the battle between her and Karen is probably not going to be next episode, but the episode after. I think we're going to end next week's episode with Mia and Jacques getting into it, and then we'll end the next one with Karen and Charisse. I could be wrong, but this is what I'm thinking. Candace joins and hugs Jacques, so they pretty much buried the hatchet. That's cool. Giselle shares that Charisse is upset she wasn't invited. Now, from what I understand, they had to pay for these tickets, so she could have easily just paid for a ticket. But Candace even says, so somebody could have brought her as a plus one. Okay, so Ashley tells Mia Karen told her about the flashlight story. And Jacques says, what, when I had a yeast infection? And I'm like, mm-mm. They ain't got no couth. Like, y'all ain't thinking before you. All right. Mia says she doesn't mind them knowing this story, but she's upset that Kara is taking girl talk and bringing it back to the group because she wouldn't like it if I told all of what she's been saying about y'all and everything. Again, this is her throwing some bait out there to see if any one of them is going to bite and ask, hey, well, what was said? Because here's the reality. I understand that wholeheartedly. But here's the other thing. Y'all on the TV show. So whatever Karen might have said about the other women in situations probably isn't on camera. Everything that Karen has brought up, you have said on camera. So at that particular point, it is fair game. And hey, helping you to have more of a storyline. And then let's be clear, Karen really ain't got no storyline, so this sort of kind of whatever helps. Robin arrives right as the show is about to start. From what it looks like, she wasn't the latest one, but she be late. Robin lets Candace know that Ashley Fran, that plus one over there, that's the one that's been spreading the rumor. Now, Karen is running behind, she's running over, what she's going to say and whatnot. The Green Eye Bandits are being catty, and it's like, yeah, suck it up, but y'all event wasn't hitting on this, so, okay. First up, we have a comedian. I did not get her name. Then comes out Karen, says a little something. Then Jasmine Masters comes out. And after Jasmine comes out, this is when Wendy shows up. Unless Wendy was already there and moved to their table. I don't know. Then they get to sizzling topics, but it's more or less just like y'all, like the audience asks them questions. Mia asks, what do you do when you share something with a friend and they run their mouth? And Karen says, whatever I said about you is the truth. Get over it, all right? But then says she'll work on not doing that. But Karen is visibly disturbed by, because her whole thing is, this is my event. Why are you trying to railroad me in my event? Well, again, your event is being recorded on a television show. And you went and said some stuff. So, hey, look, why not? Granted, I probably, no, I wouldn't. No, I was about to lie to y'all. I was about to say, under normal circumstances, I would have put my friends aside and be like, what the hell? But I'm petty. So I would have did the same exact thing. I ain't even finna lie to y'all. So the show time was 75 minutes. Karen was on stage for 29 minutes of that, which I know some people might go like, because it seems almost like Karen was supposed to be like the MC of her show, where it's just like, she's there, but there's other talent and whatnot. So it's not unreasonable. But again, we don't know what the show was, so it does kind of seem a little bit off. So Ashley introduces Candace to Deb, and Candace asks, oh, so is this the one that said Chris was touching her? Ashley says she didn't say that, and if my memory serves me correctly, Ashley didn't say that. I believe Giselle was the one that said that. If I'm not mistaken, I don't give Ashley much, but I got to give her that one. Deb says he was flirting heavy. Candace asks, okay, well, what did he say? So she retells the conversation that she told the women, well, told Giselle at that one sit down, and then says his elbow was getting closer, but he didn't touch me. Almost trying to insinuate that he was leaning in, and it's like, come on, ma'am, you doing too much. And Jasmine closes the show. Ashley attempts to talk to Candace. She like, because she wanted to see if Candace really wanted to have a one-on-one with Deb. Candace is like, nope, ain't got it to do so. Because Candace ain't having it. Ashley wants to know why is Candace, dismissing Deb like she did Jacques. And then Deb asks Candace if they can chat one-on-one. When I tell you, Candace took me out when she was like, no, ma'am. And then smiled. Look. It was one of those where it was just so quick, but it was sweet, and I enjoyed it. And then also the whole thing of ma'am, because depending on situations, when you hit somebody with that, you're not meaning respectfully, and because they're around the same age and you calling her ma'am after already called her Sesame Street, even though I don't think she heard when she said it, I'm just like, Candace, is a trip, but I hollered. So the Mexico trip is next, and that's when, hey, things are about to hit the fan, and I cannot wait. So I gave y'all over 15 minutes because I didn't think I was going to give y'all that much, but hey, look, we're working miracles. So with that being said, first off, Happy New Year. We made it. We back. And catch us tonight on the Whether You Like It or Not panel. I don't know definitively whose channel is going to be on. Terrence is trying to figure it out because his StreamYard is acting crazy. Worst cases, it will be over here. But so it's planned to be on Terrence's channel, and then next week will be here, but it might be flip-flop. We don't know. Y'all just stay tuned. Social media, all that good jazz, we'll let you know. But with that being said, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. I will get y'all Love Mary Charlottesville to reunion when I get around to it. I'm tired, and I got stuff to do. All right, y'all. Peace out. Bye.